Welcome everyone to Union, New Jersey, Harwood Arena at Kean University, where your Rowan Women's basketball team are in the NJAC tournament quarterfinals against the Kean University Cougars. My name's Jack Miller. Alongside me is my color commentator for today, Tom Hill. And Tom, these two met in the semis last year. Kean won the regular season in the NJAC last year, and these two faced off in the semifinals in this building. The Profs won 68-58 and later on won the NJAC tournament as a whole. We're NJAC champions, and they're looking for a similar result here today, this time in the quarterfinals in 2024.
Similar results, similar path at Kean on the road. Jack, you mentioned they won that game and eventually won the NJAC, and this is a Kean team that's coming in with freshman Gigi Gamble, who has just been a phenomenal player in all of D3 basketball, really, not just the NJAC. And Rowan has seen her before. She scored 21 points in both contests against the Profs this year. This isn't an unfamiliar opponent. Third matchup this year. Jackie mentioned the playoff game last year. Rowan needs to take care of business here on the road.
Yeah, and Gigi Gamble is starting for the Cougars today. Second in NJAC in scoring, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage, which is 21st in all of D3 with a 41% clip. And she's first in free throw percentage, which is 11th in all of D3 at an 88% clip as well. Both teams in their starting huddles for the Cougars. It's Maya Edwards, Riley Ahrens, the freshman, Brittany Graff, the senior, who just got her 1,000th point against Rutgers Camden on the 7th. Gigi Gamble and Shadi Badir, the 6'1", fifth-year center. And for the Profs, it's Arujo, Mallard, Carlisle, Herlihy, and Santana finally back in the lineup after a few games with a wrist injury, as she has tape on her left wrist, but she's in the starting lineup playing today. For under the hoop, it's Ahrens as well as Carlisle, and this game is underway here in Union, New Jersey, with Carlisle winning the tip and Kate Herlihy ripping it away from Badir. And this game is going on here in Union. Kate Herlihy with the ball, dribbling with her right from the right wing, looking for a screen from Carlisle's left side screen. Brittany Graff falls, and it'll be an offensive foul, an illegal screen on Charlotte Carlisle, and it'll be going the other way immediately, and it'll be Cougars ball.
Turnovers are going to be costly for the Profs. Do they limit them? Can't have those offensive fouls there, as well as turnovers on the offensive end.
The Profs, the 6th seed in the NJAC tournament. Kean Cougars, they're number 3 in the NJAC. Ahrens, mid-range jumper from the left block. No good with the rebound from Kate Herlihy. She'll push the pace with the Profs. Driving inside with her right hand, stops. Goes out to Carlisle. They'll swing it left, and it's tipped away by Gamble. She gets the steal. She's looking for someone open, but it's going to drive inside on Arujo. Left hand just rattles out, and it'll be saved by Gamble as it almost went out of bounds. Pass to Graff. Right hand with the jelly as it falls into the basket for the first 2 points of this game.
You got to be more disciplined than that on the baseline. That left baseline there. Carlisle with a nice job to disrupt that shot, but
tipped away by Graff, and she's going to go all by herself. Herlihy right behind her, and she gets another 2 points, an early 4 for Brittany Graff, who leads this team and second in NJAC in assists.
Seems like the game's moving a little too quick right now offensively for the Profs. They got to get into their sets quicker and can't turn the ball over, as we mentioned.
Mallard driving inside, mid-range jumper, whistle blows, double dribble on Nicole Mallard. And the Profs, they need to find something to go on offense. It's been a lot of turnovers for them on offense.
And you haven't even really seen Gamble and Graff in the half court yet, so Jack, when they get going on offense, they can really get going in short order.
Off the foot of Kate Herlihy. It'll be a kickball violation on her. And it'll be Cougars ball still.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do at Santana, how much she's involved on the offensive side, obviously coming off of a bit of a minor injury.
So Gamble will throw it in for the Cougars, covered by Arujo. She throws it into Brittany Graff. Guarded tightly by Kate Herlihy, deep in the backcourt. Steps back away. She drove inside. Now passes it to Badir on the right elbow. Spinning away from Santana, but it's poked away. Recovered by the Cougars. Graff stays with it from the left wing. Shot clock down to 6. Going to drive with her right with a screen from Badir. Still driving with her right. Pass to Badir. Off her hands. And it'll go out of bounds. And it'll be Profs ball, forcing a turnover with the Cougars not going fast-paced. Slowed it down. The Profs, they stayed up.
Yeah, Graff wanted to reset there, but phenomenal job by the Profs on defense, not opening up a passing lane, as the pass for Badir was errand, and Kean turns it over.
They swing it right to Mallard at the right wing, looking for Arujo, finds her at the top of the key, uses a right side screen from Santana. Pop, three-pointer, no good, too short. Rebound by the Cougars. Ahrens gets her first rebound of the game as she averages around 6 per game. She gets the ball back from Graf. Doesn't want to shoot the three. Passes it inside to Badir. Guarded tightly by Santana. Finds her way inside and puts up another 2 points. 6-0 run for the Cougars to start off this game. We're 2 minutes in. Around 7:36 left in this first quarter. Mallard used the screen from Santana. Gets double teamed out to Santana. Put on the line. 2-pointer, no good. Rebound from Badir as she averages 11.5 per game. You got to control her on the rebounds, Tom. Blocked away by Santana. Goes out of bounds to the State Cougars.
Looks like Arujo and Santana had those shots up, and Santana's was halfway home. It goes without saying, Jack, you want to get one in the basket. You still have that 0 on the board.
It's been a lot of Badir and Graf, though. We haven't really seen too much of Gigi Gamble, who is second in NJAC in scoring, as she's looking for Brittany Graf to get open. Now down low to Badir, guarded by Santana. Right side layup, too short. Rebound Nicole Mallard. Foul called on Gigi Gamble, which is something that you got to look at if you're the Profs. Maybe get Gigi Gamble into some foul trouble early to just eliminate her from the game.
Yeah, I would like to see which one of these guards, whether it's Mallard or Hurley, maybe attack her on the defensive side. And Jack, to your point, get her to 2 or 3 in this first quarter.
Gamble averaging around 18.5 points per game as the Profs are back on offense, trying to get their first basket. Tipped away by the Cougars, and it will stay with the Profs under the hoop. But we're 3 minutes in. Profs still haven't scored as Charlotte Carlisle will check out. And Christina Johnson, the senior from Toms River, will check in at 5 points per game as well as 5 rebounds per game. Arujo with a bobble at the top of the key, passes it back to Santana at the right wing. Back to Arujo. She uses the right side screen. Over to Johnson. She's going to drive inside with a shot clock winding down. Gets the scoop layup to fall. And they finally get their first basket of the game. 6.5 left in this first quarter. Gigi Gamble driving inside as they will push the pace immediately. A cut from Graf, from the pass from Gamble, and it's good. The assist will go to Gamble.
Yeah, second bucket for Brittany Graf. And it doesn't feel like Kean early is trying to just play individual. It feels like they're trying to really pass and set up.
Rujo from downtown knocks down the trifecta, and it's a 3-point lead for the Cougars now. 8-5, 6 left in this first quarter.
Rujo had that first shot that didn't go. Santana had a 3 that didn't go. But Rowan needs to just keep on shooting, keep on firing.
Gigi Gamble finessing her way inside. Badir with the offensive rebound. Travel called on Badir. It'll be a turnover for the Cougars. Badir first in rebounds and blocks per game. She averages 2 blocks per game, so you got to watch out for her if you're going to drive inside the paint on the Cougars.
With her presence, I really want to see one of these guards shoot more and create more.
Arujo back outside, swings it left to Hurley. Now the Mallard on the left wing. Right side screen from Hurley. Driving inside is Mallard with her right over 2 Cougars, and it falls. 8-7, Profs down 1. 5.5 left in the first. Gigi Gamble going to slow it down with Arujo guarding tightly on Gamble, the freshman from Somerset. Driving with her left with a screen from Ahrens. Inside, left-handed layup, counted, and the foul. She'll go to the line for one more as it's now 10-7, potentially trying to tack on one more, Tom.
When you lose Carlisle, you lose your size, and Rowan was not able to maintain good positioning defensively there. And Jack, we mentioned Gamble and her shooting, but she can also drive, she can cut. Her and Graf looked good early for the Cougars.
The best free throw shooter for the Profs, McLaughlin, checks in as Gamble leads this NJAC in free throw percentage. Makes her only free throw, so it's 11-7 lead for the Cougars here in Union, New Jersey in this quarterfinals NJAC matchup between the 6th-seeded Profs and the 3rd-seed Kean Cougars. Santana thought about a pass to McLaughlin, driving inside with the left, blocked away by Badir. Last touch by Santana, and it'll go the other way. Cougars end up with the basketball again.
Jack, you detailed Badir and her defensive presence with the rebounds and the blocks. We see it evidence there. Block Santana off of her. Another missed opportunity for this Profs team on offense.
So Ahrens will throw it into Brittany Graf as McLaughlin will guard her from half court, shaded away from her off the inbound. But now she will guard Brittany Graf, the 1,000-point scorer, 22nd in Kean history in women's basketball history for the Cougars. Now down to Badir, guarded by Carlisle. Foul inside on Carlisle from the right block, and the Cougars will go back to the line. This time it'll be Badir for 2 free throws at the charity stripe. 4:43 left in the first. Savannah Holt will check in for Sabrina Arujo. And Shayla Johnson will check in as well for Charlotte Carlisle. So on the court for the Profs, it's McLaughlin, Christina Johnson, Savannah Holt, Shayla Johnson, and Nicole Mallard. Badier's first free throw is no good, averaging around 46% from the line. She played in the semifinals game last year, only scored a point and had 5 rebounds. A huge inside presence for Badier last year. Second free throw is good, so it extends the lead 12-7. In the middle of this first quarter, Profs with the basketball again. Brittany Graff guarding McLaughlin tightly as they'll swing it right to Mallard, right wing, guarded tightly by Maya Edwards. Savannah Holt drives inside with her right, but is stolen away by Maya Edwards. A 3-on-3 for the Cougars. Edwards driving inside, but it's poked away by Savannah Holt. Great defensive presence from Holt inside to just poke it away and reset the offense for the Cougars.
Yeah, reset, and Rowan just looks out of sorts on the offensive side. You see the steal there from Edwards. These guards have really picked the pockets of these Rowan players, and they got to find a way to put shots up.
Graff inside to Badir, and that's her specialty, playmaking and passing. Brittany Graff averaging around 5 assists per game, gets another one here in this game with the feed to Badir.
Kean has a lot of great cutters on the offensive side. We've seen Graff cut, and there Badir, just easy 2 points.
Pump fake from McLaughlin, right corner, 3 is money from downtown. Profs get to double digits. It's 14-10 with just under 4 minutes to go in this first.
Even with how sluggish they've looked, Jack, on offense, turning the ball over, it's only a 4-point deficit. And Rowan, they've shot the ball from downtown very well here early.
And the Profs, they've done really well from downtown. Second in 3-point percentage as a missed layup from Graff tipped away. And it's going to be a jump ball with Badir and McLaughlin. It'll stay with the Cougars as they have possession. Santana will check back in, as she'll check in for Mallard. But McLaughlin getting their hands on the ball, forcing the jump ball for the Cougars. Gamble, Graff, 3-pointer is good from downtown. Another 3 points for the Cougars. Brittany Graff, it's been all her on offense, Tom.
It has been all her. She has 9. She's almost in double figures already, and just a phenomenal pin down from Aarons, not letting the Rowan defender get up to the 3-point arc.
McLaughlin using her strength, too strong on the shot. Offensive foul on Santana, fighting for the rebound as one of the Cougars hit the deck. But it'll go back with Kean, as there'll be another offensive foul on the Profs. Something they've been struggling with this in this game and this season, as timeout is called for the Profs. We'll keep things here, but Tom, that's something you got to look for in your next offensive possession. You got to avoid getting offensive fouls. That's free possessions for Kean.
Yeah, we've seen them lose the basketball, and these Kean defenders, Edwards and Graff, have stolen it, and Gamble has a steal as well. If you're Rowan, the shooting is there early. We've seen Arujo hit a shot. We've seen McLaughlin hit that downtown shot. So you're only trailing by 7, but there's just been a lot of unforced errors. It's going to be interesting to see if they continue to keep up with the shooting, because if they can't and Kean starts to shoot themselves, we've mentioned Gigi Gamble, but it's been all the senior Brittany Graff here in this first quarter. Rowan needs points and Rowan needs stops on the defensive side, and that goes without saying.
So here comes Brittany Graff and company for the Cougars. Savannah Holt guarding Gigi Gamble tightly off the pass from Graff. Right side screen from Kean. Gamble inside, working her way, passes out to McCoy. McCoy, who just checked in, knocks down her first shot of the game, and it's now a double-digit lead for the Cougars. It's 20-10, 2:50 left in this first quarter. High-scoring first quarter for the Cougars.
Sometimes the defensive help leaves another player open.
And the foul will be on Brittany Graff on McLaughlin, who is dribbling up the ball on the near side. So Savannah Holt will throw it in and reset the Profs offense. If you're just tuning in, I'm Jack Miller alongside me, Tom Hill, in this quarterfinals matchup between the Kean Cougars and your Rowan Profs in this women's basketball matchup. Cougars up 10, 20-10 in this first quarter. Reagan Russo, who's in, will throw it in with Christina Johnson, Shayla Johnson, Jess McLaughlin, and Nicole Mallard. Russo driving with her left, driving inside on the Cougars, finds Mallard outside as she was stopped in her tracks on the left block. Mallard spinning her way, double team, fouled on the shot, and she will go to the line for 2 points. Sarah Weber, the 5'11 senior from New Egypt, gets her first foul of the game. It's a new group pretty much for the Cougars, as it's Brittany Graff, Maya Edwards, Sarah Weber, Kara McCoy, as well as Gigi Gamble. Mallard makes her first one, so it's 20-11 now. 2.5 left. Mallard's second free throw. The 75% free throw shooter knocks down both. 8-point deficit now for the Profs as the Cougars get the basketball back. As they've been going with man coverage, Tom, they've usually gone with 3-2 zones throughout most of this regular season, but today they decided to do man coverage today. Gigi Gamble inside, finds Weber inside off the feed from Gigi Gamble. Gamble averaging around 4 assists per game, gets one right there.
Yeah, it was just phenomenal awareness by Gamble, forcing into Shayla Johnson, and then Weber just went up for the easy bucket on the smaller Reagan Russo. So that's just, you don't score if you're Gamble on that play, but that's still a really high IQ play, getting the easy 2 points.
Mallard double team up top. Has to find someone open, finds McLaughlin, swings it over to Shayla Johnson. Back down low to Nicole Mallard. Beautiful passing from the Profs as they get back to an 8 deficit. Now down low to Sarah Weber. Blocked away by Shayla Johnson as she gets her own rebound. Looking for someone open, finds Nicole Mallard as they wanted to push the pace, but they'll slow it down. 22-14. Just in the final minute of this first quarter, Mallard kicks out to McLaughlin. Pump fake, but she took a step before she dribbled, so be a travel called on Jess McLaughlin, one of the best 3-point shooters for this Profs team at a 38% clip this year. But it'll be back with the Cougars again. Another turnover for the Profs on the offensive side. 22-14.
Now we see
Cougars trying to get to a double-digit lead. Graff guarded tightly by Kate Herlihy, deep in the backcourt. Hands it off to Gamble behind her. Now they swing it left to Maya Edwards. Finds Gamble on the right wing. She'll launch a 3. No good. Rebound, Christina Johnson. As she'll try and look for someone open down court. Finds Mallard on the far side. Stops her dribble at the right wing. Gets double teamed up top off the pick and roll. Down low to Christina Johnson, and she gets a right-handed layup to fall. 48 seconds left in this first quarter. Profs down 6, 22-16. Brittany Graff, far side, swings it left to Maya Edwards. Edwards over to McCoy. They swing it right to Brittany Graff. Graff back to McCoy, guarded by Shayla Johnson. Steps back, 3-pointer, too strong. Rebound Mallard. No shot clock here as they're just under 30 seconds in this first quarter. The Profs trying to make it a 1-possession game, down by 6 in this first quarter. Swings it right to Christina Johnson. They can take their time. Over to Shayla Johnson, a lot of room, but she'll swing it left to Nicole Mallard. Back up top, this time to Reagan Russo. Dribbling with her right, switches to her left. Left side screen to Nicole Mallard. Up top to Shayla Johnson, too strong on the pass. Mallard corrals it, down to 2, just launches a shot. Too short, and that'll do for the first quarter, 22-16. Cougars lead in this quarterfinals matchup in the NJAC tournament. Tom, what did you like in this first quarter from the Profs?
Well, what I liked is the fact that they're shooting. They're still shooting. They're shooting well from downtown. They only took 11 shots, 6 of 11 in quarter number 1. That's one of the positives of this first quarter. And another positive, you've only held Gigi Gamble to 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting. So she hasn't gotten going yet. Brittany Graff has. But if you're Rowan, Kate Pearson, you're this Prof squad, you got to be way more careful on the offensive side. That goes without saying. All these moving screens, the turnovers, the travels, the offensive fouls, and you got to stay better on the defensive side in terms of positioning, especially down low, because it feels like these guards are just dishing it off to, we've seen Weber, and before her it was Badir. This Kean team, they're good. They can score in many different ways with many different players, and you got to be better on the defensive side and obviously on offense.
So the second quarter just underway here in this quarterfinals matchup. So we'll send it to break here on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM.
WGLS FM programming is made possible in part by Italian Affair Restaurant and Wine Bar. Located at 900 Delsey Drive in Glassboro, Italian Affair offers traditional Italian cuisine in multiple dining areas, including an outdoor patio. Established in 1988, Italian Affair also provides catering and private party options. For more information, the phone number is 856-881-2121, and the website is ItalianAffairGlassboro.com. Italian Affair Restaurant and Wine Bar is proud to support the programming on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM.
Hey, it's Lee Kirshner from the 80s Arcade, Saturday mornings from 10 till noon, only on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. And now, let's get back to the game.
Welcome back to Harwood Arena here at Kean University, where your Rowan women's basketball team are taking on the Kean University Cougars. My name is Jack Miller. Alongside me is my broadcast partner, Tom Hill, in this quarterfinals matchup in the NJAC tournament, as Ahrens gets her first basket of this game in the second quarter. It's now 24-16. Profs started off with the possession, but Sabrina Arujo got an air ball, and then the Kean University Cougars responded with a layup from Ahrens, as looks like the Cougars end up with the ball and steal it away from the Profs. Gamble all by herself in the right block. Profs recover in time. Blocked away by Shayla Johnson. That's her second today. Christina Johnson will just land on it, but it'll be Cougars ball no matter what. So 24-16 with a minute in the second quarter. 24-16. Tom, the defense from Shayla Johnson has been a huge presence. Even with Carlisle on the bench, I mean, she's been stepping up off the bench.
She's got a lot of run here. Carlisle was in some foul trouble early, and just great recoveries so far, going from offense to defense into full court, and the stop on Gamble on that last shot.
Ahrens mid-range jumper, too strong rebound from the Cougars. Whistle blows as they're going to discuss shot clock issues right now. But an 8-point lead for the Cougars. And these two teams, they split in the regular season. Profs won their last matchup 74-65 on senior day, and then back on January 6th these two teams faced off, and the Cougars took it away with ease, 89-70. The third matchup this season in the NJAC quarterfinals. Badir down low over Kate Hurley, the 6'1 center from Clifton, using her strength inside to get over Hurley.
Shayla Johnson was on the left baseline. Then Hurley was on the block. That's just too easy for Badir. The size advantage. Kane's been taking advantage of that all game long.
Arujo corner three. Too strong. Rebound from Hurley. Misses all of it, and Gigi Gamble ends up with the rebound. With a 2-on-2. Arujo guarding Gamble. Gamble with the left hand. No good. Rebound from the Profs. Arujo fighting for it, and a foul will be called on Brittany Graff. But we've seen Arujo take a lot of three-pointers in this game, and she's only made one of them. Cougars up 10 with Savannah Holt checking in for Arujo, but that's what the Profs like to do. They like to fire from downtown, but they just haven't been clicking today.
Haven't been clicking, but they also haven't been taking a lot of shots because of their turnovers and not being settled on the offensive side. 22 shots for Kean, only 14 taken by this Profs team.
Tipped into the backcourt. Nicole Mallard will stay with it. No backcourt violation. It was tipped by the Cougars. The Cougars going with a zone defense right now. Mallard with a three-pointer from the right wing. Too strong rebound from Riley Ahrens with the start today, with Edwards driving down low. Left-handed layup is good over Kate Hurley. 12-point lead now for the Cougars. This is their largest lead today.
Largest lead of the day. They're doing a phenomenal job on the full court, using their defense to set up their offense. And they're just getting easy looks. 2-3
zone for the Kean Cougars. Christina Johnson looking for Hurley. Left wing three. Left corner three is good from the junior for Rowan from Dennisville, New Jersey. Averaging around 14 points per game. Getting some more points for the Profs. Now up top to Ahrens. Down low to Badir. Finds a cutting Brittany Graff, but it's stolen away by Kate Hurley. With a 3-on-3. Savannah Holt trailing. Finds her. Shallow corner three. Just a bit too strong, as Badir will get the rebound. Gives it off to Edwards down court. From the left wing, she passes it to the right. Top of the key to Brittany Graff. Guarded tightly by Kate Hurley, and she pokes it away again with a one-on-one on Kara McCoy. She'll slow it down at the right elbow. Pass it out to Mallard from the right wing. In the post, finds a cutting Carlisle. Badir jumps early, and Carlisle found it a little threatening and was a little too short on the layup. Now Graff blocked away by Edwards, and was last touched by Nicole, as the senior gets another block A lot of blocks from the Profs today, not just coming from Carlisle, who's been a huge blocking presence for Rowan, but all of them getting involved on defense. But we're going to send it to break as there's a timeout on the floor. We'll be right back on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM.
Coverage of Prof Sports on Rowan Radio is made possible in part by the Brown and Gold Gridiron Club. The Gridiron Club is composed of former participants and supporters of the RUGSC football program, whose goal is to bridge Rowan's athletes past, present, and future. If you would like to support the club, participate in Gridiron events, or would like more information, the email address is gridironclub@rowan.edu. The Brown and Gold Gridiron Club is proud to support Prof Sports on Rowan Radio.
This is Sue Schilling, your host for Everything Special Needs, Saturday at 8 a.m. on Rowan Radio. And now let's get back to the game.
Profs women's basketball here at Kean University. The Cougars taking on the Profs. This quarterfinals NJAC tournament matchup, 28-19, 6.5 left in the second quarter. My name's Jack Miller. Alongside me is Tom Hill. Brittany Graff from the right corner, just a little bit too short. Rebound from Savannah Holt. Foul called on the Cougars. And Savannah Holt will draw the foul deep in the backcourt. 28-19, Tom. And we were talking about it right before the break. A lot of blocking presence, a lot of rebounds, and just steals as well from this Profs team as they're trying to make up for those offensive turnovers on the other end.
Rowan has done a phenomenal job, full court defense. We've seen Hurley a few steals, Shayla Johnson before Carlisle came back in. And in the half court on offense, it's been the downtown shooting. And let's see if that continues for the Profs.
Mallard inside, gets it stripped away off the spin. Up ahead to Maya Edwards from the left side. Spinning, firing from the left glass. And it's good over Charlotte Carlisle, who stands at 6'3", 5'7" sophomore Maya Edwards. Gets a left-handed basket over her. She had 8 points in their last game.
They're now 13 of 25 shooting. They just have everything that Kean has done offensively has been in the paint.
Carlisle's mid-range free throw line jumper, no good, rebounded from Badir. And they'll keep it going. That's her 7th rebound today, along with 7 points. Graff passed it off to Ahrens. Ahrens three-pointer over Carlisle's, no good. Offensive rebound from Badir, that's her 8th. Graff inside, as it's a foul on Savannah Holt. Got a lot of arm on Graff, as she averages around 15 points per game as well. So it's been a lot of Graff today, Tom, but throughout the whole season, we've seen the dynamic duo of Graff and Gamble really launch it from really anywhere.
And last game in Esby, Gamble really didn't get going until that second quarter, and it was a quiet day for Graff. But Jack, as you mentioned, it's been all of Graff. Earlier back in January when Rowan came here, it was Graff, Edwards, and Gamble. All of them could get going. All of them can start shooting from downtown. But it's been the paint game here.
And the last time these two teams met, as Ahrens was out of bounds off the pass, so it'll be a turnover for the Cougars again. 30-19, Cougars lead by 11. The last time these two teams met in this building, Graff had 23 points and 8 assists. Gamble had 21 points, 8 for 19 from the floor with 7 assists. But now the Profs trying to turn that game around. Cougars won that game 89-70. Now Arujo passing it down low to Santana from the left elbow. Gonna stop, pop, and it's no good, off the glass in the rim. Rebound from Brittany Graff.
Santana now 0 for 3.
Had the left wrist injury. She was out for the back end of this regular season for just a couple games against Rutgers, Newark, and Montclair State. Now on defense, gets a nice contested shot from the left block on Weber. And it'll be a rebound for the Profs, so they'll go the other way. They're back on offense. Sabrina Arujo looking for someone open from the left wing. Goes inside from the free throw line. Finds Shayla Johnson, the feed from Santana. As now it's a single-digit lead for the Cougars, 30-21. Gamble, step back, three-pointer, right wing is good over Reagan Russo. And they're back to double digits, 33-21.
Started 1 for 6, Gamble did, but Jack, as we've detailed, she can get going at any point in this game, and that might get her started.
4:12 left in this first half. Reagan Russo driving with the right hand, finesses her way inside to get the right-handed layup to fall. 33-23, 10-point lead for the Cougars. Brittany Graff controlling the offense. looking for a screen from Weber, gets it, pops from the top of the key, drained it from downtown. They have been on fire from anywhere on offense, and the Profs need an answer on defense.
Yeah, back-to-back threes from Gamble and Graff now in double figures for the Cougars. As she's done everything all season long, as we've mentioned, for the Cougars, and she's really gotten going here. A third of their points so far.
3 for 6 for downtown. As they're 14 for 28 from the floor, they've just been making baskets left and right. The Profs are 9 and 22 from the floor, 3 for 9 from 3. As Arujo's 1 for 4 from downtown. Leading scorer for the Profs is Nicole Mallard with 6. Graff has 12 for the Cougars. And for Badir, she has 7 points and 8 rebounds. 6 assists from Gamble, as she averages only around 4 per game. As the Cougars will get the ball back, 36-23. Up by 13. Gamble driving with her right, steps back on Arujo, uses a left side screen from Weber, driving with her left, but she couldn't control the ball as she was driving on the left block. It'll be a turnover for Kean once again.
A little over 3 to play before halftime. Jack, we're going to see if this Rowan team gets going on offense. Early on, it was the shooting. They really haven't done much since, as it's been a quiet second quarter after that first.
Cougars have not won an NJAC tournament game since the COVID year against Rutgers Newark. Arujo from downtown, too short. Rebound, Reagan Russo. Foul called on Sarah Weber. As this Rowan team or the Rowan fans behind us are saying thank you to the refs. Apparently according to them, they've missed a lot of foul calls from the ref on Rowan's side. But McLaughlin will throw it in. Johnson, both Shayla and Christina are in, as Sabrina Arujo just chucks up a mid-range shot and misses a little short. A rebound for the Cougars. Edwards driving with her right. Hands it off to the right wing to Gamble. Now they'll swing it left. Aarons with the ball. Up top to Graff. Graff driving inside on the left side. Out to Edwards. Three-pointer from the right wing. Too short. Rebound Sabrina Arujo. Foul called on the Cougars again. It'll be called on Graff. It'll be another throw-in from the other side of the court for the Profs. Mallard will check in for Nicole Mallard. She'll join Russo, Arujo, and both Johnson, Shayla, and Christina. For the Cougars, it's Brittany Graff, as well as Jordan Keating getting her first appearance in this game, with Aarons, Badir, as well as Maya Edwards. Christina Johnson from the left elbow, dribbles out to the left wing, swings it right, now to Russo. Arujo's tipped out of bounds by Edwards, and it will stay with the Profs. 14 left on the shot clock, 2:25 left in this first half, 36-23. Profs down by 13 in this NJAC quarterfinals matchup between the Cougars and the Profs. Mallard up top. On the right wing. Now down low to Shayla Johnson. Now finds on the right block Christina Johnson. Russo driving with her right. Back outside to Christina. Christina Johnson three-pointer. Too strong. Rebound and tipped away from Badir. And it will stay with the Profs. Last touched by Shadi Badir. First in rebounds in the NJAC. And blocks per game in the NJAC with 2 per game, only with 1 today.
Let's see if they set up Arujo to flare out at the three-point arc. Typically see it at the wing.
Russo will check out. Hurley will check in. Trying to get to 10 potentially, maybe 11 with a basket. Now they find Arujo, as you said, Tom. They swing it right. Finds Christina Johnson, top of the key, inside. Free throw jumper is good from Shayla Johnson, off the feed from Christina. The Johnson connection right there.
A few good possessions, Jack, as you mentioned, can cut this to 8 or 6, but you got to get a stop on the defensive side.
Brittany Graff guarded tightly by Kate Hurley. And she just checked out for Russo. Foul called, actually travel called on Brittany Graff. Took a step after she picked up her dribble, and it'll be back with the Profs. Rucho will throw it in from her bench on the far side. Down 11 on the Cougars. 1:40 left in the second quarter. Still a 2-3 zone for the Cougars. Free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound and a fight for it from Christina Johnson, but it ends up into the lap of Badir. Riley Aarons dribbling with her right, driving inside on Shayla Johnson. Foul called on Shayla Johnson as Aarons draws the contact and will go to the line for a pair. 1:27 left in this game. It's an 11-point ball game in favor of the Cougars. So they're trying to extend it with these free throws from Aarons. 70% shooter from Riley Aarons. Was NJAC Rookie of the Week back in December as she misses her first one. After her performance against Rutgers Camden, where she had her first collegiate double-double with 12 points and a career-high 11 rebounds. Down in Camden as she makes her second, splits the free throw appearance, and the Cougars, they're at a 12-point lead. 1:23 left in the second quarter, 37-25. Profs down 12. Mallard inside with her right hand. Foul called on Badir. A lot of contact on Mallard. She'll go to the line for 2 free throws. The 75% shooter for the Profs at the free throw line will try and make it a 10-point lead.
And Badir has her first. Jack, you mentioned early in that first quarter, Badir's physical presence down low with the blocks and the rebounds. Only one foul. You want to keep driving if you're the Profs on offense.
Mallard, first free throw is good. She's 3 for 3 at the line today. Trying to cut it to 10 with one more. Mallard's second free throw is good. 37-27 point lead for the Cougars. Profs crawling their way back in the second quarter as now they're going to press from down court in a zone. Edwards gets it stripped away from Christina Johnson, but she gets fouled by Edwards as she was trying to get the ball, so it'll be back with the Profs to try and cut it to singles.
Theoretically, if you're the Profs, have one possession here if you drain it all the way down. But if you go quick here, you probably have 2, maybe even 3 if you can get a few steals on the defensive side. But it's big for Christina Johnson to pick up the points here and break that deficit back down to single digits.
But now they're in the bonus, so that means Christina Johnson gets some free throws. So Christina Johnson, a 58% free throw shooter, makes her first one and cuts it to 9, 37-28, 1:05 left in the first half. If you're just tuning in, my name's Jack Mill alongside me, Tom Hill, in this quarterfinals NJAC matchup between the Kean Cougars and the Rowan Profs in this women's basketball matchup. As Christina Johnson makes both, 37-29, just under a minute here in Union, New Jersey at Kean. Pump fake from McCoy, back to Graf. Sabrina Aruja trying to get back on defense. Blocked away by Shayla Johnson. Offensive rebound from Badir. Too strong again, gets her own rebound, fouled inside from Shayla. And Badir will go to the line for 2. But now she has 11 rebounds, Tom.
The phenomenal positioning by Badir is just finding the sort of the blind spot, if you will, in Shayla Johnson and the other Rowan players who are around that area, and that's why she has the rebounding numbers that she has.
7 points for her as she makes her first one. 38-29, Cougars lead now. Trying to make it double digits, 46 seconds left in the first half. Second free throw is money. 39-29. Profs trying to go 2 for 1 here. 45 seconds now. Kate Hurley brings up the ball on the right wing, finds Mallard up top. Looking for someone open, dribbles with her right, out to Hurley. Hurley, right wing 3, is good. 39-32 now, 7-point lead for the Cougars. They go 2 for 1 as there's only a second between the shot clock and game clock. Now Keating swings it right to McCoy. Over to Aarons at the right side. Looking for Keating down low. 3-2 zone now for the Profs. Brittany Graf up top. Left side screen from Badir. Finds Badir down low. Over Shayla Johnson on the right side. No good. Tipped away by Shayla, but saved by Badir. But it was last touched by her as her foot was out of bounds. 4 seconds left for the Profs for one more shot.
You can set up here. You can even find a cut.
And here we go. Sabrina Arujo over to Mallard. Mallard with a second left. Half-court heave is no good. But the Profs, they crawled back in the second quarter, Tom. 39-32. That's doable if you're the Profs. Got one more half to go. And you're down 7. So you're not single digits now instead of double digits. So that's definitely a huge confidence boost going into the locker room.
And you're holding Gigi Gamble, if you're the Profs, 6 points on 2 of 7 shooting. She's only hit 1 from downtown. Brittany Greff has gotten going with 12 points. She's actually the only player on both sides in double figures. But, Jack, as you and I both mentioned on this call, if you're Rowan, you really wanted to get it down to 6 or 8 single digits, as you mentioned. And as sloppy as that first half was for the Profs, they're still in this, and they're still in striking distance with a big run early in that third quarter, and let's see if they can use that momentum going forward even further in this game.
And something that's clicked, Tom, is the defense towards the end of the second quarter. They finally went back to that 3-2 zone that they've been striving with all year. Do you think they continue with that in the second half, or do you think they go back to man coverage?
It's going to be interesting to see, because the man early, it seemed like, allowed for those easy buckets to Badir and Weber, and allowed for Graf to cut and get in for the easy buckets. So I think they're going to keep that zone because it worked towards the end.
So we're going to send it back to the Glassboro studios at WGLS Rowan Radio. Ryan Holsey has a great halftime show ready for you guys. We're going to send it to him. We'll be right back with quarterfinals basketball in just around 15 minutes. We'll be right back. Rowan Radio 89.7 at WGLS FM. Let's send it to the halftime show. The NJAC quarterfinals in Union, New Jersey, Harwood Arena at Kean University, where your Rowan Profs are taking on the Kean Cougars. My name's Jack Miller. Alongside me is my color commentator, Tom Hill. Quarterfinals basketball action in the NJAC. 6-seeded Profs are down 7 to the 3rd seed Kean Cougars, 39-32, as we're almost at the start of the second half. Tom, what did you see from the Profs that you really liked? And for something that I personally see is that the Profs, there's not really a dominance in scoring from one person. It's a lot of group basketball. You have Mallard, Christina Johnson, and Herlihy at each 6 points or more. 6 for Johnson and Herlihy, 8 for Mallard. But it's a lot of group basketball for the Profs.
A lot of group basketball, and they've saved about 6 to 8 points on the defensive side. Getting back when maybe they did turn it over on offense. We've seen Herlihy, we've seen Shayla Johnson, a lot of Shayla Johnson in that first half. And Rowan, even as sluggish as they looked, especially early in the first quarter, they were able to stay in this game, and it's doable.
Starting group out for the Profs to start off this second half with Arujo, Carlisle, Ileana Santana, Nicole Mallard, who leads this team in points with 8, and Kate Herlihy. For the Cougars, it's Ahrens, Badir, Gigi Gamble with 6 points and 6 assists. Out to Santana at the right wing. Driving inside goes her. Blocked away by Ahrens. As she'll toss it up to Gigi Gamble on the near side. Stops, finds Badir down low. Gets Carlisle to jump. Too strong on the layup. Rebound last touched by Santana. But finishing off who is still in the court for the Cougars, it's Gigi Gamble, Maya Edwards, Brittany Graff, Shadi Badir, who already has 11 rebounds, trying to get a double-double on that last basket, as well as the 5'10 freshman, Riley Ahrens. As she gets the ball off the inbound under the hoop, Gigi Gamble driving inside on Sabrina Arujo, tosses up a right-handed layup, and it's corralled by Ileana Santana, who's only played for around 9 minutes, a quiet 9 minutes for Ileana Santana. As Arujo will control the offense, swings it left to Nicole Mallard. Mallard looking for a pass inside, passes it up top to Santana. Swings it right to Herlihy. Drives quick with her right hand. Poked away by Brittany Graff, but she fouls Herlihy as she tried to strip it away in shock after the whistle blew. But it'll be back with the Profs. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 9:02 with no score in this second half of basketball in this quarterfinals matchup in the NJAC. Now up top to Santana and Carlisle. Off the inbound pass. Back to Herlihy, who inbounded it. Now spinning is Santana. Inside, foul called on Badir, as Badir gets her second personal foul inside. And Santana will go to the line for her chance at her first points of this game, trying to cut it to 6 or 5 now.
And Badir just picked up her second foul. Looked like she did have good positioning there, but a good job of Santana in drawing the contact. Chance to pick up the points.
Santana, first free throw is good. Ileana Santana, the senior, didn't play in her last 2 games. But in the last time she played against this Kean team, had 20 points on senior day with 8 rebounds, 8 for 16 from the floor. Today, she now has 2 points as she is perfect at the line. 2 for 2, and the Profs are only down by 5. 39-34, 8:48 left in the third quarter.
We'll go back to the man coverage that we saw early in the first quarter in this game.
Gigi Gamble gets the ball from Badir. They swing it right. Brittany Graff blocked away by Sabrina Arujo, and she saves it off the inbound, but it's right into the lap of the Cougars. Gigi Gamble floats up a shot. Foul called. It's going to be an offensive foul on the Cougars. Or actually, excuse me, it's a foul on the Profs. I thought it was going the other way. I saw the ref point the other way, but it'll be a foul on the Profs. Gigi Gamble gets fouled on the floater, and she'll go to the line for 2 free throws, but she's only at 6 points, has 6 assists as well. but she makes her second free throw. Made her first one earlier in the first half. Cougars crack the 40 mark as Gamble makes the second one. As we mentioned earlier, first in the NJAC in free throw percentage at 88%, which is 11th in all of D3. Over to Mallard on the left wing. Profs back with the ball. 41-34, down by 7 again. Carlisle's up top, guarded very tightly by Ahrens. And it's going to be a foul on Ahrens. On the reach-in foul on Charlotte Carlisle, as she's trying to bring it away from her, but she got some arm of Charlotte Carlisle's. So Hurley will throw it in on the near side for the Profs. Brittany Graff will cover it for the Cougars. 8:16 in the third. 41-34, Prof down 7. Hurley inbounds it to Nicole Mallard up top. Thought about the handoff to Hurley, but she stays with the ball. Drives with her left, stops, gives it out to Santana at the top of the key. Inside on the right block to Charlotte Carlisle. Gets Ahrens to jump, puts up the shot. No good, rebound, and a foul called on, looks like it'll be Charlotte Carlisle's. So the Cougars will end up still with the ball.
Both bigs for the Cougars, Ahrens and Badir, are just doing a phenomenal job on the defensive side, sealing off whether it's Santana or Carlisle, and just making their shots uncomfortable, and passes into them are uncomfortable from these guards.
And speaking of uncomfortable, Kate Hurley was just pressing Brittany Graff all up the court. She lost the ball and had to give it off to Ahrens. She passes it over to Badir. Back out to Ahrens. Ahrens mid-range jumper is good. Another 2 point for the Cougars. 9-point lead now for the Cougars as the Profs are back with the ball. But Christina Johnson checked in for Charlotte Carlisle, so she joins the starting crew. Christina Johnson swings it right to Nicole Mallard, guarded tightly by Edwards, goes inside, right-handed layup, no good. Offensive rebound by Santana, blocked away by Badir, and Edwards ends up with the rebound. Trying to get it to a double-digit lead again. Edwards controlling the offense, swings it left to Ahrens. Ahrens guarded by Christina Johnson. Hands it off to Brittany Graff as she goes back near the half-court line at the top. Guarded by Kate Hurley. Swings it left on a bounce pass to Gigi Gamble. Right side screen from Ahrens. Uses it and tries to drive inside with left. Out to the left corner to Ahrens. Ahrens drives inside with her right hand. Puts up the shot. No good. Great box out from Ileana Santana to prevent the offensive rebound from Badir. And the Profs will end up with the ball. Left side screen on Santana. Santana driving inside on Badir, just puts up the shot off the glass, gets her own rebound and puts it up and in off the second chance points.
A great stick-to-itiveness there by Santana, and actually the missed shot threw off Ahrens a little bit, and Santana able to put it in for 2. Rowan has just been staying alive.
Badir outside to the left corner, or to the left wing, excuse me, now picks up her dribble, swings it right to Ahrens, back out to Graff for a reset. Shot clock down to 10. Guarded by Hurley, left side screen, uses it for 3. No good. Rebound from Mallard off the shot, the missed shot from Brittany Graff. Up ahead to Christina Johnson. Now to Santana. Thought about the mid-range jumper. Fake pass. Fakes out Badir, but too strong on the left, and they're going to go up ahead to Gigi Gamble. It'll be a 2-on-2. Now down low to Edwards. Edwards with the left hand has the clear lane, and it's now 45-36. Cougars still up 9. 5:52 left in this third quarter. Sabrina Arujo finds Christina Johnson on the right elbow. Driving inside with her left, gets double teamed, just puts up the shot. Tried to draw some contact, but it was last touched by Christina. And it'll be back with Kean.
A lot of contact there on the left baseline on Christina, and no call on Ahrens, so another turnover for the Profs. And it looks like, Jack, this Cougars offensive attack, which we've seen them a lot in the full court, they like to push the pace, and that last bucket was just Gamble pushing and easy dish to Edwards for the bucket.
Kate Hurley will still full court press Brittany Graff, who had 12 points in the first half, still has 12 points in this game. Now down low to Ahrens off the pass from Badir. Foul called on the floor as Ahrens made the scoop layup inside, but it'll be on the floor as it will be on the Profs. It'll be on Christina Johnson. Arujo will go to the bench, and Shayla Johnson and Savannah Holt will check in. Now over to Gamble on the inbound pass under the hoop. Now down low to Badir. Foul inside on Shayla Johnson, and Badir counted, and the foul should go to the line for potentially one more point.
And there's that double-double from Shadi Badir, and it was all rebounding early, and we've seen Badir all game long, Jack, get going down low. Early on, they really fed to her in the paint, and this Kean sideline, they're loving it.
Timeout, Rowan. So we're going to send it to break here in the NJAC quarterfinals game between the Cougars and the Profs. We'll be right back on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM.
WGLS FM programming is made possible in part by Italian Affair Restaurant and Wine Bar. Located at 900 Delsey Drive in Glassboro, Italian Affair offers traditional Italian cuisine in multiple dining areas, including an outdoor patio. Established in 1988, Italian Affair also provides catering and private party options. For more information, the phone number is 856-881-2121, and the website is ItalianAffairGlassboro.com. Italian Affair Restaurant and Wine Bar is proud to support the programming on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM.
This is Kate Scott, Hoops fans, play-by-play voice of the Philadelphia 76ers, and you are listening to Profs Basketball right here on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Now, let's get back to the game.
Thank you, Kate Scott, for bringing us back here to Kean University, the Harwood Arena, as the Profs are taking on the Kean Cougars in this NJAC quarterfinals matchup in 2024. My name is Jack Miller. Alongside me, Tom Hill, and Shadi Badir is trying to convert an and one, trying to get her 12th point on the day, and she does. 12 points, 13 rebounds for Badir. Kind of similar line for her in the last game she had against the Profs, as she had 15 points and 16 rebounds in their last game against each other back at SB Gym. Christina Johnson on offense with the ball, goes and dribbles to the top of the key from the right wing. Now pass it off to Mallard. She dribbles with her right hand over to the right wing. Foul called inside. It'll be on the floor on Shadi Badir. But a 12-point lead for the Cougars, Tom, with 5 left in third. It's the offense that's hurting the Profs right now.
It's the offense, and it just seems like they're not comfortably getting into the passing lanes, as Badir and Aarons have been taking away all the bigs for the Profs, and these guards, some can shoot, some can create, but both haven't been able to do both.
Savannah Holt driving inside, blocked away by Aarons, tipped away by Holt, and it was last touched by Savannah. So the Cougars will end up back with the ball as Badir goes to the bench. So it'll be Riley Aarons, Maya Edwards, Brittany Graf, Gigi Gamble, as well as Sarah Weber for the Kean Cougars. Sarah Weber, the 5'11 senior, checking in for Badir. Driving inside is Riley Aarons with her right hand over Christina Johnson. Christina Johnson gets the foul, but Weber converts the shot. So Aarons will go to the line. Aarons made the shot. Aarons will go to the line for potentially one more. 50-36 now, 5:39 left in this game.
Aarons has been doing everything in the score column. This could be 8 points along with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks.
And one thing we have to take into account as she makes the free throw is the Profs, they've struggled all year on the road, 3-7 on the year, Tom.
Yeah, 3-7 on the year, and it just seems like a lot of these road games, Jack, they've trailed early and they kind of keep it close, but they're not able to get back into it.
And Santana with the footwork inside misses the layup on the right side. And Brittany Graf will push the pace as she gets fouled by Kate Herlihy. So Graf will go to the line as they're now in the bonus. So any foul now for the Profs for the rest of this quarter is free throws. And it's 51-36. Profs down 15. Herlihy goes to the bench. And in comes McLaughlin with Santana, Shayla Johnson, Nicole Mallard, as well as Savannah Holt. First free throw's no good from Brittany Graf as she shoots 74% coming into this game. It's her first trip at the line today with 12 points, 5 for 10 from the floor, 2 for 5 from 3. Second free throw's no good. And Shayla Johnson gets the rebound. Savannah Holt will pass it back to Jess McLaughlin. And she is the best free throw shooter for this Profs team. Nicole Mallard jabs with her left, driving inside. Euros her way inside. Too short on the layup, though. It'll be a missed shot for the Profs, and the Cougars will take advantage with a 1-on-2 now. Gigi Gamble as McLaughlin will foul Riley Aarons, as McLaughlin is starstruck right now because she's trying to play defense on Gamble, but Riley Aarons is in her way, and she's not even setting a screen.
Yeah, maybe some acting chops from Aarons. And McLaughlin, as you mentioned, absolutely befuddled at that call. But if you're rowing, you got to be a little bit more disciplined there. Obviously, that seems more inadvertent, but you're just giving.
It'll be a tech. So technical free throws for Gigi Gamble. So
We got the tech.
now Kate Pearson's talking about it with the ref. So now everyone's in discussion about what has gone on. This is either flagrant or technical free throws. I thought I saw the ref put the tee up, so might be technical free throws. So it'll be the first technical for McLaughlin. So Gigi Gamble, first free throw. It's no good. Some might say ball doesn't lie.
Yes, some might say might be 20 feet behind us, Jack.
Second free throw for Gigi Gamble is good. So it's 52-36. Cougars up by 16 with just under 4 minutes left. Cougars will get the ball back. Aarons will inbound it on the near side, right in front of the Kean broadcasting crew. So now the fans in the stands are saying that she should be shooting if it's a foul. Interesting situation here. Yeah, trying to figure out what's going on here.
Here's the refs are going to converge.
I'm trying to listen in to see what everyone's saying around us because they're saying it should be free throws, but they're inbounding it right in front of us.
Jack, we got 3 referees on the court and about 70 behind us in the seats.
Yeah. So it looks like it's more free throws for Gigi Gamble, as everyone will go back to the half-court line just like it was for technical free throws. So now Aarons will shoot free throws instead of Gigi Gamble.
So Gamble's free throws are for the tech, and now Aarons are for the actual foul on McLaughlin. That's my interpretation.
I think you're right. So first free throw is good from Aarons. So now it's 53-36. So this is for the tech and the flagrant. And second one's good for Aarons. So now it's 54-36.
Kean will retain.
4 free throws for Kean, and they make 3 of them. And they get the ball back with just under 4 minutes in the third. As Graf dribbles with her left as she passes it off to Aarons. Aarons driving inside. Foul inside. Looks like it'll be on Shayla Johnson or Ileana Santana. So more free throws for the Cougars. Aarons will try and tack on 2 more.
Yeah, it's just been a futile effort here in this third quarter, Jack. Rowan 4 points on 1 of 11 shooting as Kean has really taken over this game.
First free throw is good. This run in the third quarter has been pretty much immaculate for the Cougars. 15-4 run in the third quarter. Second free throw's no good. Rebound from Shayla Johnson, and it'll stay with the Cougars. Last touch by Shayla Johnson. 55-36. As there'll be a timeout on the floor with 3:46 left in this third quarter. We'll keep things here, Tom, as it's just been all Cougars in the third quarter, as we mentioned. 16-4 run in the third. Profs just have to find something on offense to compete.
They do, and it just feels like that everything they do is trying to stay into the game, whereas everything Kean has been able to do this entire game has been to take and eventually pad the lead. And even though Gigi Gamble has been quiet to her standards, Brittany Graf, 12, Shadib Deer, 12, Riley Aarons, a lot of those coming lately with those free throws is at 11. And it's just been all Kean as they have their foot on the gas here as we wind down towards closer to the end of this third quarter.
Aarons fakes the pass, dishes it off to Weber, short on the layup, and it'll be a rebound for the Profs, and they'll take over on offense. Just about 3.5 left in this third quarter as the Profs are back with the ball. Santana out to Shayla Johnson. Thought about the mid-range jumper, but bobbles it. Mallard bobbles it off the pass from Shayla Johnson. Over to Savannah Holt. She'll launch right wing three-pointer, and it's good. 3 points for Savannah Holt. Gets her first basket of the game. It's now 55-39 with just over 3 minutes left to go in this third.
Not shooting a great percentage, Rowan is, but it does feel like the three-point shots have kept them at least afloat, for a lack of a better term.
Brittany Graff, long court pass over to Aarons to the right corner. Steps inside, short on the mid-range jumper. Rebound, Nicole Mallard. She'll push the pace for the Profs. Foul called on the floor. As it looks like they'll just... As the whistle blew, looks like for Kelly Kunzel for standing up or maybe stepping in bounds, but no one was. And Megan Russo will check in for Jess McLaughlin. Savannah Holt will inbound it, and it'll be staying with the Profs. Shayla Johnson from the left block off the pass from Savannah Holt, driving inside, puts up the layup. Fight for the rebound from Holt, but Graff stays with it, and Russo will play defense on Graff. Now she dribbles over to the right corner. Now dribbles with her left up top to the top of the key. Pass it off to her right to Gigi Gamble. Left side screen from Weber. She gets double teamed over to Aarons, left wing. Now from the left block in the post is Maya Edwards. Over Santana with the left hand, no good. Rebound from the Profs. Santana will push it up ahead to Savannah Holt with a 2-on-1 with Nicole Mallard. Savannah Holt, three-pointer, too strong. Rebound by Aarons. As Mallard really wanted the pass, as she knew it was a 2-on-1, and they had the perfect situation lined up for them. 55-39. Around 2 minutes left in the third. Gigi Gamble driving with her left on Savannah Holt. Passes it out to Maya Edwards, all by herself. Three-pointer is good. 58-39. Cougars are close to having a 20-point lead, Tom. 19 is their largest lead of the game. 19 is their largest lead of the game. 19 is how many they've scored in a 12-point advantage. Shayla Johnson with 2 points from the left elbow is good. Sorry to cut you off, Tom, but continue. 19-9, Rowan getting outscored by 10. They are only shooting 3 of 15 from the field in this quarter. Kean not too much better at 5 of 13, but a lot of that is the free throw discrepancy. Maya Edwards from the left wing passes it up top to Brittany Graff. Over to Gigi Gamble, right wing. Steps back on Savannah Holt. Gets the pass back from Aarons. Gigi Gamble driving inside. Too short on the layup. Tipped by Shayla Johnson. Gigi Gamble keeps it alive and puts it in with the reverse lay. 60-41. Savannah Holt will inbound it, and the Profs will be back with the ball. 1:08 left in the third. Reagan Russo driving with her right. Or dribbling with her right. Pass it off to Nicole Mallard. Gets it tipped away from the Cougars. Will just drive inside and put up a layup. Offensive rebound by Shayla Johnson. Pass it out to Reagan Russo. Gets shoved by Maya Edwards. And Maya Edwards has the ball all by herself with the left hand. Largest lead of the game. 21-point lead for the Cougars. 62-41. We're at 40 seconds now in the third quarter. At the far side is Savannah Holt. Carlisle waits at the substitution area to check back in. Shayla Johnson swings it right to Reagan Russo. Right wing, finds Shayla Johnson down low. Awkward pass for Shayla as it gets tipped away, and Mallard and Edwards gets tied up down low. Whistles blow, will be a foul called. Looks like it will be on Edwards.
A lot of bodies flying these last couple of minutes, and 21-point lead for the Cougars, their largest of the afternoon, and it just seems like everything that Kean's doing right now on the offensive side, especially whether it's shooting or cutting, second chance, they're just outclassing this Props team right now.
So Mallard will go to the line for free throws. Carlisle checks in for Shayla Johnson. Joins Holt, Russo, and Santana. First free throw is no good. She's now 4 for 5 at the line today. Leads this Profs team with 8 points. 62-41, trying to cut it to 20. Mallard makes the second free throw. So now it's a 20-point lead for Kean, as Brittany Graff has some trouble getting this pass off, and Savannah Holt gets the tip pass, blocked away by Brittany Graff. Reagan Russo ends up with the ball, trying to find an open player. Pass it out to Mallard, three-pointer. Oh, that Nicole Mallard from downtown. It's now 62-45. Game clock down to 20. McCoy brings it up. It's double teamed as they're pressing. Gigi Gamble down to 5. McCoy out at the left wing, launches a three-pointer, too much to the right. That'll do it for the third quarter, but a 23-10 performance in the third quarter for the Cougars as they're starting to try to pull away 62-45, as we'll be right back with fourth quarter basketball for the NJAC quarterfinals when we return on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM.
WGLS programming is made possible in part by Barnes & Noble, the official bookstore for Rowan University. Located at 201 Rowan Boulevard, Barnes & Noble is your #1 choice for profs gear, as well as a wide assortment of gifts, accessories, and sportswear. The bookstore is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday, 10 until 6 p.m. The Starbucks Cafe opens 8 a.m. Monday through Friday and at 10 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. For more information, their website is rowanbookstore.bncollege.com. The Barnes & Noble Bookstore is proud to be a supporter of Rowan Radio, 89.7 WGLS FM.
I'm Allie Bruce from the Rowan Report. Tune in on Saturday mornings at 9:30 on Rowan Radio. And now, back to the game.
Welcome back to Kean University, where the Cougars are taking on the Profs in this women's basketball matchup, NJAC quarterfinals in the NJAC tournament. My name's Jack Mill. Alongside me is Tom Hill. And Tom, 62-45. Cougars lead by 17 at the start of the fourth quarter. They were down by 7 at halftime, but now they tack on 10 more points in that third quarter. What do they have to do in order to crawl their way back into this game and move on to potentially play NJCU, the Gothic Knights, with Damaris Rodriguez, the 2 seed in the NJAC tournament?
17-point deficit is a tough task, but it needs to start with shooting. You have to shoot your way out of this, and you didn't want to get into the situation if you're the Profs, because you haven't been shooting the basketball good all day long. 15 of 48, that's only 31%. 6 of 16 is only 38% from downtown, so you got to do what you haven't done well all game long. It's going to be tough for these Profs.
Profs get an early foul, so the Cougars inbound it. Graff ends up with the ball after a few passes around from the Cougars. Graff passes it right to Ahrens, right wing. Now up top is Gigi Gamble off the handoff from Ahrens. Sabrina Rujo guarding tightly. They're going back to man coverage. Now Badir from the free throw line, pass it out to Graff. Driving with her right hand, gets double teamed, finds Badir, uses the playmaking abilities to find Badir another basket. It's now 64-45.
Yeah, it's been a lot of Badir, a lot of Graff, and 2 seniors really doing it all for these Cougars.
14 points now for Badir with 13 rebounds. Hurley driving with her right, passes it out to Carlisle at the right elbow, over to Arujo, top of the key, looking for an open defender, but actually puts up the shot of her own. An offensive rebound by Charlotte Carlisle, saves it, and it's off of Brittany Graff, and it'll stay with the Profs. Arujo complaining about a foul from Brittany Graff, as Graff was all over Arujo, but it'll stay with the Profs. 64-45, 9:06 left in this game. For the Profs, it's Hurley, Santana, Arujo, Savannah Holt, and Charlotte Carlisle. Arujo with the ball up top, guarded by Gigi Gamble, driving with her right. Foul called on the floor, as Arujo will go to the line for free throws. Looks like the foul will be called on Brittany Graff off the floater from Sabrina Arujo. Arujo, 60% clip from the free throw line this year. So it'll be her first trip today. First free throw's good. So now it's 64-46, 8:58 left in this game. Second free throw is money. So it's 64-47. Profs back to a 17-point deficit. And the Profs will press in the backcourt with Gigi Gamble and McCoy. Brittany Graff looking for an open defender, and actually she goes inside with her right hand and draws the contact, makes the basket, and will go to the line for one more.
Yeah, we've seen it all game long from these Cougars, and Kate Pearson, in a bit of a desperation move, goes for the press, and it makes you susceptible on the back end. And Brittany Graff knew that. She took advantage of it. Chance to convert, 3-point play.
Free throw is good. So now the lead's back to 20. The Profs have a lot of ground to make up. Here we go with the right side screen from Charlotte Carlisle. Hurley, he does not use it. Blocked away by Ahrens, but foul called on Ahrens again. So Hurley, he will go to the line for a pair as she shoots around 2/3, 67% on the year. But you're right, Tom. They have a lot of ground to make up in this NJAC quarterfinals matchup. They played each other last year in this building in the semifinals, and the Profs came away with a 10-point victory, 68-58. But it's a huge turn of events this time in favor for the Cougars. Hurley is good. First free throw.
Early on, it seemed like Rowan was at least doing a decent enough job on the defensive side, and even with their three-point shots, at least staying in it. But Kean's just really taking advantage here in this second half.
Early, he misses the second free throw and another rebound for Badir. Gigi Gamble driving inside, pass it off to Badir. It's tipped away by Nicole Mallard. She'll get a steal to tack on for her stat line. And Hurley, he will bring up the ball. Trying to cross up Brittany Graff. They'll swing it to the right. Santana thought about the mid-range jumper, the long mid-range jumper. Works her way inside over Brittany Graff and off the glass and in. Another 2 points for Santana. Tipped away by Kate Hurley. She gets a steal off the inbound. Tips it away from Weber. Sabrina Rujo driving inside on Weber. Just puts it up. Fight for the rebound off the missed shot. And it'll be with the Cougars. But a great defensive effort from Kate Hurley and from Nicole Mallard on the other end under the hoop of Kean's basket. But it goes back with Kean, Tom, with still a 17-point lead. 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, phenomenal steal there by Hurley. We've seen a few from her in this game, but just couldn't capitalize there. You could really maybe swung the momentum if you put that in the basket, even if it was only just a layup.
So Cougars going up top and swinging it to the right with Badir and Edwards. Edwards passes it off to Gamble at the top of the key. Guarded by Hurley. Driving inside with her left hand. Finds Ahrens. Left corner three. Too short. Rebound from Nicole Mallard. Fight for the ball. Foul on Badir. So it'll be back with the Profs in the backcourt. So still a 17-point lead for the Cougars as the Profs played some solid defense. So Arujo will check, or will throw it in, and Badir will check out. Same with Charlotte Carlisle. So it'll be Graff, Gamble, Edwards, Ahrens, and Weber for the Cougars. And for the Profs, it's Sabrina Arujo, Kate Hurley, Nicole Mallard, Christina Johnson, and Ileana Santana. Badir with 4 fouls, so now the Profs are able to force some fouls on Badir to put her in some foul trouble towards the end of this game.
Yeah, and doing that would allow you to at least feed it into Santana, Carlisle, or Shayla Johnson, whichever big is out there.
Kate Hurley tried to put on a reverse layup in this game, but it was too short on it, and Weber touched it last for the Cougars, and they'll stay with the Profs. Hurley will inbound it, looking for someone open, finds Sabrina Arujo, passes it to left block. Santana inside with the footwork over Weber. The veteran senior for this Profs team get another 2 points for Rowan. Cougars pushing the pace with Gamble at the right wing, left side screen from Weber. Doesn't use the right side screen from Weber. Now over to Brittany Graff on the left wing, driving with her right hand. Over to the right wing now she goes. And she's now going to cross up Kate Hurley with the right hand. Shot no good. Rebound from Arujo, but Mallard tried to pass it up ahead, but it's intercepted by Graff. Whistle blows as Gamble had the ball on the left wing. So it will be with the Cougars still. It'll be a foul on the Profs. Profs down 15, 6:39 left in the game. Gamble will throw it in. She'll find Graff in the backcourt. Guarded tightly by Kate Hurley. Over to the right wing with Gamble, driving with her right. Gets past Arujo, too strong on the layup. Mallard gets the rebound. She's going to push up ahead to Kate Hurley with a 2-on-2. Steps back, puts up the mid-range jumper, rattles out. Offensive rebound from Santana, but she just tried to rip away from Weber, and that will draw an offensive foul. So it'll be a turnover for the Profs.
Shoved her out of the paint, and another unforced error for these Profs. And looks like they're going to implement a whole press on the inbound, just trying to get a steal.
And Reagan Russo will check in for Sabrina Arujo. Santana goes to the bench as well, as it'll be Christina Johnson, Reagan Russo, Kate Herlihy, Nicole Mallard, and Charlotte Carlisle for the Profs. Foul called. Looks like it'll be on the Cougars, so the Profs will get the ball back. So they'll inbound it from under the basket. 67-52 here at Harwood Arena at Kean University in this NJAC quarterfinals matchup. With you is myself, Jack Miller, and Tom Hill on the call. Reagan Russo throwing it in for the Profs. It's Kate Herlihy, lost her footing, and it'll be a turnover for her as it looked like she stepped out of bounds.
Microcosmic of the afternoon that the Profs have been having, Jack. Turnovers, unforced errors, and you play a team like Kean that has depth, bigs, guard, they can shoot, they can cut, they can create. That's why the deficit is what it is.
Gigi Gamble with the ball, pass it off to Graff at the top of the key. Christina Johnson guarding Graff. She steps away from her. That shot was too far to the left from the left wing. And it'll go back with Rowan. 6 minutes left, down by 15, 67-52 are the Profs. But this clock is ticking. Time is not on their side. Russo finds Mallard in the post from the left elbow. She steps away from it to the left wing, driving inside with her right, euroing her way inside. But pass it out to Christina Johnson, too short. Fight for the rebound from Christina Johnson. She lands on it. Pass it out to Mallard. Finds Russo top of the key. Crosses over on Graff. Draws some contact, and she'll go to the line for a pair of free throws, Tom.
Yeah,
good job from Reagan Russo to drive inside and draw some contact and try and get some potentially 2 free points.
You'll slow the pace down. Badir in foul trouble now. Weber picks up another foul. So these bigs, it's going to be interesting to see how they close out the game. Kean does.
So timeout here on the floor as we're going to send it to break here on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Don't go anywhere.
WGLS-FM programming is made possible in part by the GRASP Coalition, an initiative of the Southwest Council. The GRASP Coalition is dedicated to preventing the abuse of addictive substances through strategic community partnerships. The GRASP Coalition is currently looking for passionate collaborators to join their prevention efforts. Visit their website calendar to discover when you can join the next Community Coalition meeting. For more information on the GRASP Coalition or the Southwest Council, the website is southwestcouncil.org/our-coalitions. The GRASP Coalition and the Southwest Council are proud to support the programming on Rowan Radio.
Hey, this is Gavin Trutzenbach from Gavin's Rock Lab. Monday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. here on Rowan Radio. And now, let's get back to the game.
67-52, Profs down by 15 against the Kean Cougars. In this NJAC quarterfinals tournament matchup, the 6th seed down by 15 to the 3rd seed of the Cougars. But Reagan Russo of the Profs at the free throw line for Rowan. After the timeout, she'll shoot 2 after the shooting foul. Looks like from Weber. First free throw is good. She's now 6 for 11 from the free throw line this season, averaging around 2.5 points per game. 2 points in the last game against Montclair State, where they lost by 4, 66-62. She makes the second one as well. So she goes 2 for 2 with the line. 67-54, tipped away by Kate Herlihy off the pass from Gamble. It's a 3-on-1 for the Profs. Herlihy fakes the shot, puts it up for Christina Johnson, gets the rebound off the shot from Johnson. Pass it out to Charlotte Carlisle, out to Reagan Russo. Russo for 3, too strong. Offensive rebound from the Profs. Reagan Russo grabs it, passes it right. Foul called on, looks like it will be on the Cougars. So it'll stay with the Profs and they'll reset.
A good possession there from Herlihy. The steal, the pass, and then the offensive rebound after the miss. She's trying to create something for this Profs team. 5'11", so it's not completely undoable, Jack, but they need points and they need them fast.
They need a comeback here to move on to face the NJCU Gothic Knights up in Jersey City. Over to Kate Herlihy, steps back, 3-pointer off the screen from Charlotte Carlisle, and it's good. It's now a 10-point lead for the Cougars. The Profs, they're roaring back here in Kean.
Now we got pressed with Herlihy and Johnson in the backcourt.
Tipped by Mallard, but it lands with Edwards. Now back up top to Aarons. Graff, and it's tipped away by Russo, but last touched by her. So It'll stay with the Cougars, but the Profs on defense, they're everywhere. They're reading passes left and right, Tom.
Yeah, and the reason they're able to read those passing lanes so well is because of what they're doing in the press in the backcourt, and Kean is just not quick enough once they get into their half-court sets.
The press is working, but it'll be a reach and foul on Kate Herlihy as Graf got the inbound pass, but Herlihy was a little feisty for the ball. Arujo will check in for Kate Herlihy. Herlihy, that'll be her third foul. Gamble finds Badir. Badir controlling the offense, wants Gamble back. She hands it off to her. She dribbles up to the top of the key from the right wing. Guarded by Reagan Russo. Right side screen from Ahrens. Doesn't use it. Driving with her left. Tipped away by Christina Johnson. Has to slow it down because it's a 1-on-2. Going to dribble out. Finds Arujo. Hands it off to her in the right corner. Back out to Christina Johnson. Three-pointer. No good. Rebound by Reagan Russo with the left hand, and it's good. The Profs are now down by single digits. It's 67-59. The Profs are back in it. Brittany Graf off the inbound pass. They're going to press with Arujo and Johnson. They'll swing it left on the near side to Edwards. Back up top to Ahrens and Graf. Graf guarded by Sabrina Arujo. Wanted a handoff to Gamble, but the Profs are playing tight. Now to Badir. Back to Graf. Foul called. Shot is good. So Graf will go to the line for one more. 69-59.
Boy, what a momentum killer that is for the Profs. A phenomenal job by Reagan Russo hanging tight on Gamble, but it's just been Brittany Graf all game long for these Cougars and draws the foul, chance of a three-point play. And Rowan, if they got to stop there with their momentum, they really could have gotten rolling here.
Free throw's too strong as it's almost corralled by the Cougars, and it is. Graf ends up with the ball. Gamble thought about the three-pointer, but it's going to slow it down with Reagan Russo guarding. Now she's going to dribble with her left. Gets right by Russo. Foul called on Santana, and Gamble will go to the line for some free throws as she's first in the league, or first in the conference in free throw percentage, 11th in all of D3. Today, Gamble is 4 for 5 from the line. Came into this game almost at 90% from the line, but Carlisle will check in for Santana. Joins Mallard, Russo, Christina Johnson, and Sabrina Arujo. For the Cougars, it's Badir, Ahrens, Gamble, Edwards, and Graf. As it looks like there's time on the floor. Graf is getting a drink of water even though she's in. And they're not giving the ball off to Gamble yet. Not quite sure what the reason is why they're slowing it down this much. 3:36 left in the game. Cougars up 10. Looks like the refs had to discuss something. 10-point lead for the Cougars, trying to make it 11 is Gamble. She misses the first one.
Bit of an announcer's jinx maybe there, Jack.
Second one is good. She does make it 11. Jinx kind of going my way, kind of not, but it's 70-59. Cougars up by 11. Christina Johnson with it the right wing. The pass from Russo. Passes it to the left to Carlisle. The left wing is Mallard, driving with her right hand over Badir with the right hand. Offensive rebound by Charlotte Carlisle. Try to put it up and in for the second chance points, but it's no good. Rebound for the Cougars. With a 3-on-3, Graf's gonna have to slow it down. Guarded by Russo. Hand off to Gamble. Up top to Edwards. They swing it left to Ahrens. Now pass it up top to Badir. They swing it back to the right side. Graf gonna just pull away and use the time to her advantage. Hard screen from Ahrens and Badir. Now Graf back up top. Swings it right to Edwards. Edwards just gonna pull up a fall away mid-range jumper. Doesn't even touch the rim, so it'll be a shot clock violation for the Cougars. And substitutions will come in. Savannah Holt will check in for Reagan Russo to join Mallard, Carlisle, Christina Johnson, and Sabrina Arujo. So Holt will bring it up. Profs still down 11. 2:40 left in this game. Guarded by Gigi Gamble. Mallard with the ball. Getting double teamed up top, driving inside over Aaron. High arcing shot, no good. A rebound from Badir, but the Profs are just gonna fight for the ball to try and get the ball back, and they will. So good job knowing that they would get possession if they got a jump ball, Tom, because now the Profs get the ball back, even though Badir got the rebound.
Badir did get the rebound. Rowan retains, and now Badir, one foul away from being out. Maya Edwards as well, one foul away from being out. 2.5 to go. Attack those two players.
And it's tipped by Gigi Gamble off the inbound. And they get the ball back. The Cougars trying to push with Gigi. She's going to try and dribble her way inside, but dribbles out of some trouble. Going to pull up a three-pointer. Too strong. Rebound, Nicole Mallard. Savannah Holt corrals the ball, and she gets double-teamed at the left wing. Mallard will put up a three-pointer. Too strong. Rebound by the Cougars. Foul calling on the Profs. And it'll stay with the Cougars. Looks like it'll be on Savannah Holt for another personal foul. That'll be Holt's third.
Rowan has done a better job on defense in this fourth quarter than they did in that third, but Kean has done enough, I would say, on the offensive end to not let Rowan completely take over, and a lot of that is just drawing fouls and Edwards' chance at points at the line.
Edwards, first free throw is good. Shoots around 80% from the line. Making her first one there. It's her first trip at the line today. 2:06 left in the game. Up 12 for the Cougars, 71-59 against the Profs. Badir with the offensive rebound off a miss, but Savannah Holt gets it. And it'll be a technical foul on Savannah Holt as she screamed at Badir that she got the rebound over Badir, and she points at the scoreboard afterwards.
I just don't understand why you're doing that if you're Savannah Holt. You grab the rebound on Badir, you're down by 12 with 2 to play. There's no need for that. And now you just give this Kean team more free throws, another possession. Just completely ill-advised.
So now Gamble will go to the line for technical free throws. 2:02 left in the game. But the refs were dealing with the technical. They didn't see that Badir was pretty much taunting Savannah Holt by pointing at the scoreboard.
Maybe they should have canceled out.
Yeah. Gamble makes both free throws. So now it's 73-59. Again, the last time Kean won a NJAC tournament game was back in the COVID year when they beat Rutgers Newark by a lot to a little. So now the Cougars will get the ball back. 73-59, just under 2 minutes to go in the game. Graf hands it off to Gamble. Lost it a little bit, but she stays with the ball. Driving with her left on Arujo, gets the screen from her teammate, and it's a miss off the left-handed layup from Gamble. And the Profs will end up with the ball again, down by 14, with not a lot of time left. Mallard's going to drive inside, spinning her way inside on Badir, trying to find her way up with the shot. And it'll be a jump ball with Badir and Mallard, and it'll go back with the Cougars as they have possession.
A phenomenal job by Badir on the defensive, creating that jump and not fouling, playing with contain and composure. A minute 35 to play in this ball game. The Cougars can really salt this one away.
Graf getting cornered in the corner, but it'll be a turnover on the Cougars as they get the ball back, and another whistle blows as it'll be a tip. Last touched by the Profs. It'll stay with the Cougars. The bench pretty much all standing, pretty much saying what the heck, they did not touch it.
Yeah, Holt in disbelief. Kate Pearson now.
The entire bench is in disbelief. Shayla Johnson has her hand in her fist as they'll get it off to Brittany Graf, double teamed on the far side, but she stepped out of bounds, so it'll be back with the Profs. Profs still down 14, 73-59, but they have just under a minute and a half left. And if they lose here, this will be the last game of the season. The last games for Nicole Mallard, Savannah Holt, and Ileana Santana. They got honored on Senior Day against Kean at the SB Gym back on February 3rd. But Savannah Holt will bring up the ball, spinning away from Gigi Gamble at the top of the key. Bounce pass over to Nicole Mallard. Nicole Mallard will just launch a three to try and get back in the game. Offensive rebound from Savannah Holt. Foul inside. Looks like it'll be on Badir, or it'll be on Graf. No, it'll be on Graf. Graf gets her fourth foul. She's now in foul trouble, but Holt will go to the line for some free throws. 76% from the line. First free throw is good. So the Profs cracked the 60 mark. But the winner today will take on NJCU and Damaris Rodriguez of the Gothic Knights. And Holt cuts it to 12, 73-61. Whistle blows. Timeout called on the floor with a minute 14 left. The Tom will keep things here. Looks like most likely it'll be the Kean Cougars taking on Damaris Rodriguez and the Gothic Knights. But what a strong season in the pretty much debut season for Kate Pearson. They got to 12-13 record overall, 9-9 in the NJAC. But this is definitely going to be, they definitely can have a step forward next year.
Yeah, the initial seasons are always tough when you have a new coaching, new philosophies, and the way you play basketball. Obviously, the game of basketball is not necessarily different, but just the way Kate Pearson wants to coach the game of basketball is different than what they've seen. A bit up and down, we've seen them in this regular season, but we always see them fight, and they fought here today. Despite that sluggish start, that sluggish third quarter, they fought early in the fourth quarter, and you got to give credit to this Kean Cougars team because this is a very deep team. Badir, Graf, Aarons have all played well today, and even with one of the best players in D3 basketball, Gigi Gamble, having a bit of an off night for her, they've took care of business on their home court. But, Jack, to your point, lots to look forward to if you're this Rowan Props team. Kate Herlihy Jr., she'll be back. Sabrina Arujo Jr., she'll be back. Charlotte Carlisle will be back as well. So
yeah,
it's not like you're losing a ton of seniors.
Yeah, you're only losing 3 players with Mallard, Holt, and Santana. But the Cougars will inbound it from the Profs basket. Badir gets the pass, getting double-teamed by Mallard and Carlisle, tipped away by the Profs. Herlihy ends up with the ball, needs to launch a three-pointer. She does, and makes it. It's now a single-digit lead for the Profs. 1:04 left. Herlihy gets the ball back. She puts up the shot. Offensive rebound from the Profs, but it'll end up back with the Badir. Jump ball with Carlisle and Badir, and it'll be Profs ball. Profs have some life here late in this game. Down 9, 57 seconds left, and Herlihy will inbound it. Herlihy under the basket, gives it off to Carlisle. Got to swing it quickly. Finds Savannah Holt from the right wing. Gets a screen from Mallard, driving inside with her left hand. Over Badir, and it's good. Left-handed layup from Savannah Holt. Tacks on another 2 points. 73-66. Timeout. Mandy King for the Cougars. 12th year head coach for Kean, but it's 73-66. Prof with 2 possessions real quick, getting a few points right there, and it's now a 7-point lead for Kean. It's a whole new ball game now, Tom.
Whole new ball game, and interestingly enough, it seems like Rowan has been unable to consistently create when they're in the half court on offense, but they've been able to stay alive in this game by taking advantage of Kean miscues, a lot of it coming in inbounds or on the defensive side, cutting off lanes for passes. So that's what Kean needs to do to just salt this one away. 50.5 to go, but 2 more buckets make it a 1-possession game, and then, you know, it'll be interesting to see if this Kean team starts pressing.
So it'll be Kean's basketball. 50.5 seconds left in this NJAC quarterfinals game between the 6th-seeded Profs and the 3rd seed of the Kean Cougars. 73-66, 50.5 left in the game. Carlisle's inbounding it, or Carlisle's fighting for the inbound. Gamble with the ball off the inbound pass from Graf. There'll be a foul on the Profs. So it'll be a foul on Kate Herlihy, but that's her last foul. She gets fouled out just like Santana did. So Arujo will check in, but Gamble goes to the line for free throws. 47.6 left in the game. Gamble, first free throw, makes it after a bounce on the front of the rim in the backboard. Lands on the hoop, so 74-66, 8-point lead for Kean. Second free throw is good. Timeout called from Rowan, but now the lead's back to 9, 75-66, Tom.
75-66, but this is where if you're Rowan, it's going to be interesting to see who they create for. I'd like to see if they can get a clean look for Arujo, whether it's a wing, 3-point shot, corner, get something up to make this a 6-point game. If you can get a layup and get it quick to make it a 7-point game, it's going to be interesting to see what Kean does also inbounding the ball. They've had some trouble in that department, so not completely undoable with 48 seconds to play here, only down by 9, and you can make it 6 and then get a steal and make it a one-possession game.
So the Profs will get the ball back. They're ready for the ball back as they wait for Kean's defense to get ready. If you're just tuning in, it's NJAC quarterfinals basketball between the Profs and the Cougars. Women's basketball matchup. So they're down by 9, 75-66. With you is Jack Miller and Tom Hill. Mallard inside off the pass from Christina Johnson. And a rebound and a foul. Rebound from Badir for the Cougars, but Nicole Mallard for the Profs will foul Badir, and Badir will go to the line for the bonus free throws. 41.6 left in the game. But Badir will go to the line for 2 more free throws. But what a game again for Badir. Pretty much having a very similar stat line to the last game she had against the Profs. And in the last game on the 3rd of February, Badir had 15 points and 16 rebounds. She has 14 points. She misses the first one, so still at 14, but 16 rebounds again. So she might have an exact similar stat line to the last game that she had against Rowan if she makes this free throw time.
Yeah, her and Graff, the 2 seniors, have showed out here at home.
She makes the second free throw, so same stat line.
Exact same.
Rujo bringing it up from the near side, driving now with her left, pass it out to Savannah Holt, gets triple teamed, ball gets loose, and it ends up with Gigi Gamble, but Sabrina Rujo steals it back, driving her way, Euro inside, around Badir. She goes, and it's now an 8-point lead for the Cougars, tipped away by Savannah Holt, and it'll be last touch by the Profs. 76-68, 27 seconds left. Savannah Holt will check out, Reagan Russo will check in, with Christina Johnson, Sabrina Rujo, Charlotte Carlines, and Nicole Mallard. Aarons for the Cougars will throw it in. Tipped away by Mallard. She gets it back. Mallard passes it out to Christina Johnson. 3-pointer, too strong. And no one touched it for the Cougars. And it'll stay with Kean. So 18.7 seconds left. But that 3-pointer would have been huge. Would have made it a 5-point game.
That would have been huge, and you would have been doing this, but only down 5 instead of 8. And phenomenal job by Edwards not letting Russo try to save it for the Profs.
Inbound from Aarons over to Brittany Graff. She lost her dribble, gets double teamed over to Aarons, and she'll foul. And Aarons will draw the contact. Mallard will get another foul. Mallard now has 2. One earlier on Badir, but Aarons will go to the free throw line. 13.8 left to try and make it double-digit lead for Kean. 76-68. 2 free throws for Riley Aarons, the freshman from Delran, shooting 70% on the year. Today she's 5 for 7, make it 6 for 8 for Riley Aarons. 2 blocks for Riley with 11 points, 3 for 9 from the floor. 5 rebounds and 2 assists as well. Second free throw rattles in. So now 10-point lead for Rowan. They'll call a timeout for most likely 1 more possession, Tom, but this game can call it pretty much over.
Can call this game over, but one of the things I'll say about this Profs team, this game individually has kind of been a glimpse at their season. We've seen the highs, we've seen the lows, we've seen them blow out teams, we've seen them get blown out, we've seen them really scratch and claw and fight in these games, and kind of putting a bow on this first season for Kate Pearson's squad. It just wasn't their day from the field. As of right now, they're 22 of 71. That's only 31%. Or 8 of 24, 33%. And they ran into a Kean team in Gigi Gamble. Didn't really have as great of a day from the field, 3 of 13, but pretty much every Cougar has gotten to the free throw line. Aarons has 9, Gamble, as I mentioned, 11, Badir 7. It's been a lot of Graff and Badir scoring from the field. And they got out to that early lead in the first quarter. Then they really padded on in the third. The fight from Rowan just not going to be enough to save their season.
Game clock down to 10. Arujo, long distance 3-pointer, too strong. Aarons gets the rebound, and that's going to do it. The Profs season is over, and the Kean Cougars will move on to take on the NJCU Gothic Knights. And they have a date with Damaris Rodriguez in Jersey City this coming Tuesday, Tom. That matchup's going to be a good one, but unfortunately, the women's basketball season is over. They got to the 6th seed, 12 and 13 overall. They get their 14th loss on the year. 9-9 in the NJAC. What a season, but it's not the result they were looking for. They were the NJAC champions last year, Tom, and they wanted to do the same thing as last year. They wanted to repeat.
They wanted to repeat, and they wanted to get it started where it started last year, as you mentioned, Jack. As I mentioned on the call, and as you mentioned, fighting, clawing, scratching, trying to get back into this game as they trailed early, and then they started to really trail in that third quarter by 20, and just not able to get it done. A 10-point loss to end their season, but year one of Kate Pearson's team, and you got to really feel for Nicole Mallard, Eliana Santana, and Savannah Holt, because those three are not going to be playing basketball, at least at Rowan University, from the rest on. So tough loss here for the Profs. They weren't able to get it done, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Kean and NJCU. Kean won at NJCU on December 9th, 71-70, so a tight game there. January 27th, here in Harwood Arena, they lost to Damaris Rodriguez and that team 65-61. Rowan has seen both teams this year, but their season, it's over.
That's going to do it for the women's basketball season. We still have the men's, who play on Wednesday against, you said TCNJ, Tom, right?
TCNJ, yep.
TCNJ will play the Profs in men's basketball, so their season's still live. They're the 1 seed, so the entire NJAC tournament has to run through Glassboro. But Ryan Holsey for the postgame show will break down this entire women's basketball game for you, but the final score, 78-68, and the Prof season, as Tom said, is over. Thank you guys for tuning in. For Tom Hill and myself, Jack Miller, thank you guys for tuning in from Union, New Jersey, and have a great rest of your Saturday.